我喜欢每天运动，你呢？
你好 welcome back to another episode. 欢迎回来 If you are following along with me on my journey to learn 中文, remember to click on the subscribe button and the bell icon next to it. When I release a new video with new characters to learn, you'll be notified. I have another tip for you. Sometimes when I make up funny stories and sentences to practice the new words, I would also reuse words I've already learned so that I don't forget them. But of course, I often do forget. And if you do forget to, don't worry. Just go back and watch the previous episodes. How would you know which episode? Just have a look at the video thumbnails and you will see the characters clearly labeled on it. It will either be beneath my face or maybe somewhere next to my face. Here are the characters in this episode. The first character in this episode is cháng. So cháng means often or frequent, common or usual. Word examples using cháng are 非常, which means extremely cold, 非常冷, or extremely hot, 非常热. Another example is 经常, which is a little less extreme, and 经常means frequent. A third example using 常, which I really like, is 常识, which means common sense. I think it would be very useful to learn this 常识. Let's switch on the pinyin. 非常经常常识. Let's try and make a sentence using 非常 and 经常. Okay, I've got a good one involving Dr. Lee's wife, Mrs. Lee. If you remember from the previous episode, she's a little sensitive to the hot sun. So let's say 6月的太阳非常热，李太太经常不出门. I'll turn on the pinyin first.Let's read that back. 6月的太阳非常热，李太太经常不出门。So what did I write about 李太太? Let's try and translate that back to English. 6月 is June. 的太阳, so June's sun. 太阳 is sun, so the sun in June 非常热。Extremely hot. 李太太 is of course Mrs. Lee. 经常 is frequent. 不出门 is not or no. 出门 is to go out. So Mrs. Lee often does not leave the house. Yeah, if the June sun is extremely hot, I would do the same too and stay home. Let's make another sentence using 常识. How about 你生病了，马上去看医生，这是常识. Let me switch on the pinyin first. Okay, let's have a go at reading it back. 你生病了，马上去看医生，这是常识. I think this sentence is worth an exclamation mark. So what did I say? 你生病了, you are sick. 马上去看. So 马上 means immediately. 去看 go see. 医生 we learned is doctor. So go see a doctor immediately. Exclamation mark. 这是常识. This is 常识. Common sense. If you're sick, you go see a doctor immediately. It's common sense. And yet not everyone does that, do they? Okay, let's move on. Next character is 喜, which means to like. It also means happiness. Word examples using 喜 is a very common one, which is 恭喜, which is to congratulate someone. You may have heard it during Chinese New Year, 恭喜发财, or just 恭喜 in general to congratulate someone on any auspicious occasion. Congratulations, 恭喜. Another word example using 喜 is 喜酒. 喜 happiness, 酒 is alcohol, a drink. So literally this means happiness drink, which actually refers to 喜酒是 a wedding reception. Let's make a sentence using 恭喜. How about something simple like 恭喜王老师，你当了妈妈. So switch on the pinyin. In the previous episode, we learned that 老师 is a way we refer to the teacher. So 王老师 is teacher Wang. 恭喜 是 congratulations. So congratulations, teacher Wang. And why are we congratulating teacher Wang? 你当了妈妈. Mama is mother. 当了 we learned in the previous episode is to become. So 你当了妈妈, you have become a mother. So if you imagine a scenario, my 老师, Wang 老师, teacher Wang just delivered her first baby and I will congratulate her. You have become a mother. 恭喜 Wang 老师, 你当了妈妈. Okay, now let's try and make a sentence using 喜酒. How about 今晚我去我校友的喜酒. Oops, that's the wrong 喜酒. Let's try again. 喜酒, I want this one. Yep, let's switch on the pinyin. 今晚我去我校友的喜酒. So what did I just write? 今晚 is tonight. 我去 I go. So I'm going somewhere tonight. 我校友的校友 we learned in the previous episode. 校友 refers to my schoolmate. 的喜酒. So where am I going tonight? I am going to my schoolmate's wedding reception tonight. And when I meet them tonight, I can use this new word that I learned today, which is 恭喜. Next we have huān. Huān means happy or joyous. The first word using huān, we've already kind of learned it and used it quite a lot in the previous episode, which is 喜欢, which is to like. Another word example using huān, 欢乐, which represents collective joy. Let's make a sentence using 喜欢. Now I know Mrs. Lee loves braised beef, so that's very easy to make one up. Mrs. Lee really likes to eat braised beef. Let's jazz this sentence up a little bit and say she likes to eat braised beef with stir-fried vegetables. I'm making the sentence longer so that I can try and use as many words as possible that I've learned. Okay, let's try and translate this into 中文. Mrs. Lee 是李太太 really likes. So likes I know is 喜欢, but here I want to emphasize it that she really likes it. Like she extremely likes it a lot. So likes is 喜欢, but to make it more exaggerated, I'm going to say extremely like. So I'm going to combine that with 非常. To eat braised beef is 吃红烧牛肉 with stir-fried vegetables. So with or together with is 跟 stir-fried vegetables. Vegetables 是菜, so stir-fried 炒菜. Let's read that back and check that I've done it correctly. 李太太非常喜欢吃红烧牛肉跟炒菜. 李太太非常喜欢吃红烧牛肉跟炒菜. Let's make a sentence using 欢乐. I have to admit it was a little bit difficult trying to formulate a sentence using collective joy, but let's try anyway. So here I'm trying to describe Dr. Lee and his family enjoying braised beef because they really like it so much and they had a wonderfully joyful dinner. So how would that sound like in 中文? That night 是那天 Dr. Lee 李医生 and his family 和家人 had braised beef. 吃红烧牛肉. Then I want to say that they had a wonderful eating experience together. So maybe I could say as 他们吃了欢乐的晚餐. 那天李医生和家人吃红烧牛肉. 他们吃了欢乐的晚餐. I'm not sure if I've done it correctly in 中文. If any of you guys know a better way to express how this family had a joyful dinner together, please let me know in the comments. Moving on, we have 运. 运 means move or transport. You see it's got the feet or legs radical in it, so to do with movement. It also represents luck or fate. Word examples with 运. First one is 空运, which is air freight. 空 is the air, the the space. Yun is transport. So 空运 is air freight. Another example is 海运. Hai is ocean or the sea. Yun is transport. So yep, you would have guessed it. This refers to sea freight or sea transportation. So that's quite easy to remember. Yun representing transport, and there are two types of transportation. 空运 to transport by air, and 海运 transport by sea. How about yun in terms of luck and fate? I think that's interesting to learn. First one is 运气, which means luck. 你的运气很好. Your luck is very good. Another great example using 运 in terms of luck and fate is 好运, which is good luck. We could use that to wish somebody 祝你好运. I wish you good luck. Let's make up some sentences and try and practice transport version of 运 using 空运and 海运. How about something like this? Whereas her brother works at a sea freight company. There we go. So how would I translate this into 中文? Wang 老师的 husband. So husband, we learned this a few episodes ago, 是丈夫 works at an air freight company. So 在一家 air freight is 空运公司上班. Whereas her brother works at an air freight company. 他的哥哥在一家 sea freight is 海运公司上班. Okay, let's read that back and check that I have said it correctly in 中文. 王老师的丈夫在一家空运公司上班. 他的哥哥在一家海运公司上班. This pinyin looks a bit incorrect, so let me quickly fix that. Okay, let's read that again. Make sure I've done it correctly in 中文. 王老师的丈夫在一家空运公司上班. 他的哥哥在一家海运公司上班. Okay, now let's try and make a sentence using the luck version of 运, 运气 and 海运. How about this? 我运气非常好，我买到2个少有的梨子. Switch on the pinyin first. 我运气非常好，我买到2个少有的梨子. So what do you think I just said there? 我运气 was me, so my luck 非常好, extremely good. I'm extremely lucky. 我买到2个, so I bought 2少有. If you remember from about 2 episodes back, 少有 is rare and 梨子 is plum. So what did I buy? I managed to buy 2 rare plums. I can amp this up a bit as well and make it a bit more extreme by saying not only it's rare, it could be extremely rare. So here I added 非常少有. I bought 2 extremely rare plums. And of course I hope that everyone would be as lucky as me to get these extremely rare plums. So I would like to wish you good luck. 祝你好运 with those extremely rare plums. 非常少有. 祝你好运. Following from 运, we have 动, move, touch, or to stir in motion. So the most common word that I've come across with 动 is 运动, which is to exercise. Another word example is 动作, which means motion or action. So someone who is always moving or taking an action is to 动作. I'm generally familiar with using 运动, but I can see it can be very confusing. 运动 and 动作. So I'm gonna make an example sentence and try and use both of these words together and to demonstrate how it could be used. 王老师非常喜欢运动，他经常在学校动作. Okay, let's switch on the pinyin first. Voila. Let's read that back. Make sure it's correct. 王老师非常喜欢运动，他经常在学校动作. Before I translate this back to English, I need to make one correction. 王老师 is actually a female teacher, so I'm going to swap this male 他 to the female 她. Done. So what did I write in 中文? 王老师, which is teacher Wang. 非常, so extremely. 喜欢, we just learned is like, so she really likes something. And what does she like? 运动, to exercise. 她经常 经常 we just covered a few minutes ago is frequently. So she frequently does something. What does she do? 动作. She's frequently moving or in action. And where does she do that? 在学校 in school. So this teacher really likes to exercise and she's always moving about in school. 她经常在学校动作.
Slap yourself with a chicken cutlet.
I'm not quite sure if 她经常在学校动作 is really the right way to use 动作. If you know of a better way to use 动作 in a sentence, please share it with me in the comments below. Next we have 每, which means every. Think about what other words you could form in English using every day, every night, or everyone. That's quite straightforward, right? Okay, so what's the 中文 equivalent of every day? So every in 中文is 每, day is 天, so every day is 每天. Similarly, every night, every is 每, night is 晚, so every night is 每晚. How about everyone? So now we're talking about people, right? A human person 是人, so in this case, everyone 是每个人. Another word example with 每 combines it with another character 当 that we covered in the previous episode. 每当, which means whenever. 每当. Okay, let's make up some sentences and try and use as many of these 每 words as possible. Let's start with this. Exercising every day is extremely good for everyone. I would say that this 是常识. It's common sense. Okay, let's translate this to 中文. So in 中文, I gotta flip things around sometimes. So exercising every day, I would say 是每天运动, everyday exercise. It's extremely good. Extremely, we just covered using 常, 是非常 good, 是好. And who is it good for? For everybody. So in this case, using characters I know, I would structure it this way. 每天运动跟每个人非常好. 每天运动跟每个人非常好. 这是常识. Let's make another sentence using every night. Mrs. Lee loves braised beef so much she wants to eat it every night. I'm not sure if that's a good idea. Let's translate that to 中文. 李太太喜欢吃红烧牛肉. Okay, I think we've seen this sentence multiple times now over the last few episodes about Mrs. Lee's love for braised beef. 李太太喜欢吃红烧牛肉. Now I want to add in that she likes to eat it every night. So somewhere in there I gotta put in 每晚. I think I'll stick it in here. 李太太喜欢每晚吃红烧牛肉. So not only does she love to eat braised beef, she loves to eat it every night. 李太太喜欢每晚吃红烧牛肉. Since we're talking about Mrs. Lee, let's continue. Yep, whenever the sun is hot, Mrs. Lee is not gonna come out of her house. So how do we say that in 中文? Whenever 是每当太阳太热, 李太太不出来. 每当太阳太热, 李太太不出来. Here I'm using the expression 太热 to say very hot. I could also use 非常热, which is extremely hot. 每当太阳太热，李太太不出来。The next character is quite interesting. It has two different pronunciations, and this is always challenging in 中文 when the same characters are pronounced differently and have completely different meanings. So this one is 都 or 都. So let's look at the first one. 都 is all, already, even, or both. This 都 I'm a little bit more familiar with because it's quite commonly used in verbal sentences to say everyone or all persons have done this or both of them are this. The second use of this character is pronounced as 都. This is a little bit unfamiliar to me. 都 is capital city or metropolis. So how do we use 都? I've heard it quite often used verbally. So there are two ways to use 都. You can put 都 in front of a verb or you can put 都 in front of an adjective. the best way to learn this is, of course, to see it used in a sentence. So let's try. 李医生和李太太都喜欢吃红烧牛肉。李医生和李太太都喜欢吃红烧牛肉。So let's break that down a bit. Some of the parts of the sentences we've already used multiple times. So 李医生 is our favorite Dr. Li. 和李太太 means and Mrs. Li. 喜欢 we've learned is likes. And 吃红烧牛肉 is eat braised beef. So here the effect of 都 is to say that both of them, both Dr. Li and Mrs. Li likes to eat braised beef. Let's try another one. 王老师的学生都非常喜欢他的声音。Oops, that's the wrong 声 and the wrong 音。他的声音。王老师的学生都非常喜欢他的声音。王老师 is female, so I need to switch this from the male 他 female 他 Ta-da! Done, the magic of editing. 王老师的学生都非常喜欢他的声音。So let's break it down to understand what I've just written. 王老师 so 王老师是我的老师 Teacher Wang. 的学生 so I'm saying 的学生和 students 非常喜欢 so extremely likes. And what do they like? 他的声音 her voice. Okay, so in general, I'm trying to say that Teacher Wang's students really likes her voice. So the effect of 都 in here, I'm trying to say all her students like her voice. In English, this sentence may already convey that message. When I say Teacher Wang's students, it could mean all, or if I want to make it more impactful, I could say all of her students really like her voice. Let's move on to 都. So word examples with 都. The first one is 都市, which refers to a metropolis. Second example is 首都, which is capital city. So I'm going to try and create a sentence and try and use both metropolis and capital city so that we can see the different use of it. 现在张三 I don't know if you remember Zhang-san, but Zhang-san is the boyfriend of Lin, who is the daughter of Li Yisheng. So 现在张三在首都工作。北京市是一个很大的都市。Let's switch on the pinyin. Let's read that back. 现在张三在首都工作。北京市是一个很大的都市。Oh, it's a lot of sh's, isn't it? 现在张三在首都工作。北京市是一个很大的都市。So what did I write in 中文？现在张三 So 现在 is right now or currently. 张三 is Lin's boyfriend. 在 is at somewhere. 首都工作。首都 capital city. So currently 张三 is working in the capital city. So in this case, we'll assume capital city is referring to the capital city of China, which is Beijing. So the second sentence says, 北京市是一个很大的都市。北京市是北京 city. 很大 it's very big. 都市 Beijing city is a very big metropolis.
Okay, time for 作文 story time. This is where I try and make up a short paragraph, tell a story, and try to use as many of the new words in this episode and combining them with previous episodes if possible. 现在是作文时间. Here is a 作文 I created earlier. Our dear Dr. Li and Mrs. Li both love to exercise. Their children like it too. Maybe perhaps in the capital city, everyone exercises very frequently. Lin's boyfriend, however, Zhang-san, he's currently in Beijing, and he's doing two jobs because every night he works at the air freight company, but he likes it because he gets to move around frequently. Next Saturday, he'll be attending a wedding reception, and the newlywed are both his schoolmates. 现在是作文实践. Dr. and Mrs. Li like to exercise. 李医生和李太太喜欢运动. Their children also like to exercise, so their children will be 他们的孩子 also likes to exercise, so 也喜欢运动. In the capital city, 在首都 每个人 everyone is 每个人都喜欢运动 Lin's boyfriend 林的男朋友Zhang San I'm going to remove the comma and put it here 林的男朋友Zhang San 现在在北京市 every night 是每晚Zhang San 在一家 air freight so air is 空运公司工作 He likes his job 他喜欢他的工作 He likes his job because he frequently gets to move frequently 经常有动作I'm not sure if that sounds right. If you guys have a better way to express this in 中文 please share in the comments below. Next Saturday 下个星期六他去 Happy Drink. Next Saturday he will go to a Happy Drink 喜酒 That couple. So we learned how to say couple in the previous episode. 是夫妇 So I'm going to say that couple. 那位夫妇是他的 schoolmates. 小友 Let's turn on the pinyin and read that back. Ta-da! Okay, let's read that back. Check that it's done correctly. 李医生和李太太喜欢运动，他们的孩子也喜欢运动。在首都，每个人都喜欢运动。林的男朋友张三现在在北京市，每晚张三在一家空运公司工作，他喜欢他的工作，经常有动作。下个星期六，他去喜酒，那位夫妇是他的小友。你喜欢我的作文吗？
谢谢大家。If you have any suggestions on how I can improve my video so that it will be more effective for both you and me to learn 中文, let me know in the comments. Hope you have enjoyed learning with me in this episode and I'll see you in the next one. 下集见。P.S. Remember to hit the like button.